Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about community suggestions for patch 2.6 in Diablo 2 Resurrected. I have looked on suggestions on the forums and on Reddit and found quite a lot. In order to get picked, there had to be more than 2 of the same suggestion. And while I talk about these, I'm going to do some Arcane Sanctuary runs because I'm looking for the Key of Hate. Yeah. So let's just get going with the suggestions from the community. First off, we have buffing underpowered skills. There's apparently still a lot of skills out there that could use some adjustments, some buffs. We all know some of the strong skills, like Smite on Paladin, the Blizzard on the Sorcerer, and many more. But there are still some skills that don't perform so well, that don't get used. That's why I cannot remember them. So yeah, people would like to see some buffs there. This is a lot on the melee characters. I'm not going to talk so much about that just yet because I'll come back to it. But anyway, let's go to the next suggestion. Adding more character slots and adding more inventory space. This is a big one. A lot, once again, want this. But I have a thing about the inventory space because the way the game is right now with the charms in the inventory, if they make it so that we have twice the amount of space in the inventory, we will just use twice the amount of charms. So that's not really a good idea. So we just have to go with how it has always been, where you put your stuff in the cube. Maybe they could make a bigger cube. But adding more character slots, that would be a good idea. Then we could have more mule characters. Or maybe adding more stash space. That's another big one. Anyway, next up we have buff melee classes. Like I said earlier, this is the most skills that people ask about is on the melee characters. And specifically, people want on the melee characters more AoE. And they want the hit cap to be removed. But is this just a part of a melee character? Would it ruin the whole feeling of being a melee character if you did the same AoE as a sorcerer? I don't know. That's some arguments that I have found on the forums and on the Reddit, so that is just something you can take into consideration. But anyway, people want something for the melee characters. Next up we have Sunder Charms, keep or remove them. This is a question that's asked a lot on the internet, and people disagree. I'm not sure myself. A lot of new builds and skills have come up with the Sunder Charms because suddenly they are able to do, Chaos Sanctuary and stuff like that. So overall they are good, but the Blizzard Sorcerer shines over them all, and that's a bit of a problem. Next up, we have get Terror Zones for single player. This is a big complaint because obviously there is a lot of single player players in the game, and they want Terror Zones. I was not aware that they did not have it, but apparently they don't have terror zones. Some make the argument that they don't need it because they have the ability to turn up the player count, and that in itself is very good for the experience on single player. But it is some new stuff that has been added to the game. Why not give all the opportunity to explore? That's how I feel. Yeah, next up we have the chat lobbies. And actually overall the chat lobbies with the spam bots, people just don't like the chats. I found a lot of complaints about it. A lot of good suggestions about making some groups and of course remove the spam bots. Remove all these bots that want you to click on stuff, links and so on. That is just the worst. So yeah, they actually it's all the stuff that people ask for means that just a whole rework of the chat system, I feel like. Next up, we have stackable gems and runes. And this is maybe the biggest of them all, because I have seen this so many times on Reddit and on the forums. And it would be so nice, because right now runes and gems take up so much space for all of us playing the game. So it will just help out so much if they introduced this stackable gems and runes. I don't know what more to say. From what I know, there haven't been any clues about this should come in the next patch, but let's hope. Next up, we have a trade system like the old auction house in Diablo 3. If you knew that. Actually, that I read some mention at auction house like that one exactly. Other ones just mentioned an auction house in some form in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Would be great. Because right now there is all these different websites and stuff like that where you can enter and try to sell your stuff, and people try to do it in the game itself, in the chat, and other ones try to do it on the forums, and there's just so many places outside of the game itself where people try to sell the items. So it would be great if there was just a bottom in the game that said auction house, and you enter there and you search for the stuff, and you can put your own stuff on sale, and maybe place a specific item up for bidding and all that kind of stuff. That is something that people is asking for. Next up, we have new zones for the terror zones in Diablo 2 Resurrected. There's already quite a lot. People want more. This is not one of the things that I saw a lot of suggestions for, but I saw it. People want even more than there currently is. They have already implemented quite a lot of zones for the terror zones. Yeah. Anyway, last but not least, we have terror zones make the journey to level 99 nothing. This is just what I have read. I haven't been playing a lot of terror zones yet, but apparently it makes it way easier than it used to be to get to level 99. And people are not so happy about that. So maybe they should make it a bit harder. Maybe they should make it so that you don't get just so much experience from doing the terror zones. I don't know, but like I said, this is what I have read. This is what players want. So this was all the suggestions from the communities out there that I have found on the forums and on the Reddit. Thank you for watching this video. Do you want to know the specific build that I have been farming with this entire video? Do you want to learn the Nova Sorcerer? Then click on this video and you will learn all there is about this build. Thank you for watching.